This
Live.
conference will now be recorded.
Hello, and thank you for joining the AnCan MS support group. My name is Andrea. I was diagnosed in 2012. I'm on Ocrevus. I live in North Carolina, and I guess we'll go around for introductions. John, would you mind going next?
Yeah, hi, I'm John. I'm from Central Michigan. I was diagnosed in 2016. I'm currently on Zeposia, I've relapsing remitting, and I do have a giant chunk of news that some of you may be super excited to hear, except all of you better be excited to hear or I quit.
Ooh, that's intriguing.
Yeah.
It is. Thank you, John.
Mhm.
Carmen, how about you?
Sure. Hi, I'm Carmen from Canada, and I have primary progressive MS. Was diagnosed in 2014. I was on Ocrevus. I'm now in my second clinical study on a randomized control trial for a BTK inhibitor. So fingers crossed that I'm actually getting the medication and not placebo. I don't know. And yeah, I'll take a few minutes to chat, especially because it's a smaller group today.
Whenever you say
Excellent.
BTK, I think about like bind, torture, kill, like that old serial killer.
Oh, jeez.
Oh
Mhm.
So,
yeah, right.
like,
Yeah,
it's
right.
just
Yeah.
in case anyone wants to know, his name was Dennis.
Dennis Rader. It's Dennis Rader. I had to do a paper on that. Yes, Dennis
Oh
Rader.
yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop saying that then.
No, please don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Tryptophan
Please
No.
don't.
kinase protein inhibitor. No.
Oh, yeah. No, that's way too
No.
hard to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you add the I onto the end of it, and we know it's not the serial killer. Um, Michelle, would you mind introducing yourself?
My name is Michelle Jones. I was originally diagnosed in late 2005, 2006. Made wholesale changes, and I didn't have a name for it. I just made changes. It went into remission for 17 years, and then I guess the stresses of life brought it back in with a vengeance a couple of years ago. And I'm on gluturamine, Copaxifane, if you will, to currently, which I'm out of because when I went to pick it up, even though I called in a prescription to the VA, they didn't have it. So I'm just sitting here waiting. I missed my dose today. So there it is.
Uh,
Yeah.
do you need
We,
time to talk tonight,
Not really. I mean,
Michelle?
it's, not really. I mean, I guess just maybe to ask other people about their experiences with some of the adapters and different things like the Sabo and stuff. Like I had to send a Sabo back because the one I have just came out of the little socket and just came out. One of the little parts just came out. I'm like, and I was gonna buy another
Yep.
one, but anyway, we'll table that until later. So something like that. So
Okay. All right. That sounds good. John, why don't we go to you and hear your news?
I woke up early this morning. Like 7:30 is very early for me. So I
Hmm.
had to get up and like do my hair and shave a little bit, look presentable to the advocate judge today that I saw regarding my Social Security. Is if so, the people that were there were a doctor, a like vocational ed person, to see about any jobs, and the doctor just said facts about my MS. I could even go back to 2016 instead of 2018. Um, Saw that I tried to hold jobs, stuff like that. Um, and the judge said thank you to the doctor. I did too, because he's very well spoken. And then she asked the vocational ed person to leave because we don't need her. So things are looking really good, friends. I won't know until I know. But given that this judge has a 75% approval rating, like factually on, on the website, and the idea that my first question was, how much do you know about MS? Because it showed that I just wanted to have a common ground with the judge. And she said, I've been doing this for 20 years. I know enough about it, and I've read all the reports. So, yeah, we're cool. And we moved right into like swearing in and the whole thing. Melissa was with me, and we got off the call and we cried because finally we think we did it.
Awesome.
4 years. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. 6 years.
So
It's
is this
taken you
approval?
6 years.
Um, 4 after we really started putting a lot of effort into it.
Is this what? Can you just summarize what this is for? Because I'm not familiar with the process. Is it
Oh,
to
okay.
declare
So
that you're a disability or something?
yes, yeah. So the judge is the final say, like ruling on if I have a disability, and so this would determine how much per month I will get in money. But even more important,
Back
that's
pay,
just what's that?
back pay.
They say they don't do that much anymore, but that would be cool. Hold on, that would be cool as hell. But I'm not banking on that. Ha, get it?
Yeah.
But just the access to the programs that says like once I'm disabled, I will be able to do this, including respite care. So if I wanted to take a week and go do everyday physical therapy and just crush it out, I could do that. You know, just more options for things that will help make it easier. And don't get me wrong, if we get that back pay, we're doing hardwood floors in the house, not just back to the bedroom and bathroom. Oh,
That's awesome.
speaking of the lovely lady,
Hi.
Hi.
they all say hi. He
Hi.
says hi back.
Hello.
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 Hello. You have to excuse me. I put
Hi.
this pile of pills next to me.
Such a different process for you guys. Like
Yeah, yeah,
ours is a government thing. There's just like you fill out the forms, you send it away, you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait, but not 4 years, and it
yeah.
doesn't take a judge. Like
The
it's
the
wild.
the big thing was,
And we pay into it. So you
yeah,
can only get out of it what you've paid into it. So there's a certain amount of our taxes that go in to Social Security. Everybody pays into it up to a certain amount
Hmm.
of pay. And then, so it's like insurance, right?
Right.
Um, which it's like the hardest insurance to get to pay out that
Hmm.
I've ever seen in my entire life. They'll do anything they can not to pay out.
Hmm.
But on the flip
But my
side of
my
that, they probably get a lot of fraud as well.
Yeah.
yeah, my only thing about that, and I've been a big proponent about this here, and I know it's for naught. It's really for naught. But I break it down to the beginning. And a man challenged this actually one year. Who in the heck gave them permission? I never signed anything and saying take my entire money for my entire work life only for the chance that you're going to be able to give me some support in my retirement. I never gave it permission for that. You entitled yourself to it. That's what happened. You entitled yourself to it. So for them to act like they do, I mean, but it is who they are. I mean, but that's how I feel about it. They never had permission. This man actually sued them one year because he was being accosted because I think he was working and he was also drawing his Social Security or disability, and they wanted to tell him no, they wanted to give it to him. They said, "Well, you took it without my permission, so this is my money," and I agree with him.
That's,
You
but
know,
that's what
you stole the
taxes
money from
are.
us. Well, okay, I've heard that too. I've heard that that's taxes, but is that defined as taxes? We pay taxes. That's called taxes. So how is this now? All of a sudden, Social Security is really taxes. I've heard somebody else tell me that that's really taxes. Really?
It,
I'm just
yeah, it is. It's taken by the government. It's specifically that's what FICA is all about on your pay stub is all about Social
mhm,
Security and Medicare.
right. Okay. I thought the taxes were the taxes, but okay.
Well,
Well,
there are
there's all
tax.
sorts of different types of taxes. I
That's right.
mean,
Uh,
you
well,
know,
all right. The euphemistic term. It's Social Security, but it's tax. It's really taxes. Okay, I got.
for
So
sure in life,
I
death and taxes, right?
I
Yeah,
want to
over
say,
and over and over and over.
I just
I
want to say to John that I actually went through this too, John, and I had a court hearing. This was back in 2009, I think, and at the time I wasn't going to apply, and then after about a year, my friends convinced me I should, and I applied and I went, and I was successful. Because I couldn't work. I was really wiped out from my
yeah.
treatment. Um, and I actually got my Social Security around when I was about 58 or 59. So I got it. I got disability at 58 or 59. So it all started paying at that point in time. My guess is, and yes, you can go back a certain amount. Did you have a Social Security lawyer or not?
Hold on. Can I just tell the whole story? Like, I just want to get the whole thing out
Yeah.
because this actually is explaining into what Carmen asked about the process and why it took so long. So, the year 2000, I applied for disability. I completed stuff very incorrectly. I did a bad job. 2020, Melissa and I start to apply again. Judgment usually takes about 8 to 9 months. So I had my initial application. So then when I got to the back of that, we appealed, and then the appeal was denied. So this is all taking place over like 9 months, like the appeal and all that stuff, because they're busy. It's not just John. Um, and then from there, we requested a hearing, and we got up all my medical paperwork, got signatures from all sorts of different doctors, all indicating when I first started having balance issues, when I first started having nausea and anxiety. So just getting all that stuff together, that took Melissa and I the better part of the 2 years between. Just making sure that honestly, Melissa went with me today, and so I always looked at her for like, do you remember this thing? But yeah, so from
Oops.
so where I stand now is I really feel as if the judge indicated that I'm approved without actually coming out and saying it. Like, my father-in-law worked in Social Security, and when Melissa talked to him this afternoon, he's never heard of a judge dismissing the VOTEC person. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? He's never heard of that. And that the medical person went through my stuff like they'd been there the whole time taking notes. So I can't say for positive until I have that grubby little email in my grubby little hands that have been clenched until I get it. But, like on a Magic 8 Ball, it says positive things, And of
Approved.
course, yeah, approved. I mean, you guys have known, Andrea, Carmen, you guys have known how I've wanted to do this and get it set, and will help.
John,
So,
you said you first approved in the year 2000. Did you mean 2020?
yeah, 2020.
Okay, that's what I thought in 2020.
Sorry,
So
I have MS.
I just I just want to make one comment that John did it on his own, but one thing that we have a lot of people that apply for disability at AnCan, and we usually recommend, you don't need it, and John shows you didn't need it, but we usually recommend it's worth your while using a disability attorney because they're restricted in how much they can take. It's a pretty small percentage of what you get. Most of the time, you're going to pick up at least 12 months prior. And I think the most they can take is 6,000 or 7,600. And usually the amount that you get is significantly more than that. And a lot of times the attorneys know the judges in the local jurisdictions. And so they know what information to bring. Now, you don't have to do it. I did it. I used an attorney. I was really grateful that I did, and the process just went much easier. But it's a complicated process. I mean, you've got to getting your medical history and listing all of your doctors and it's complicated.
That's the part that really was throwing me off, like just remembering all the dates and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
The lawyer that we went through said, you don't really need us because you have everything so far together, just keep going.
Right.
So that was another positive thing that someone kind of told us. And then Melissa filled it out more than I did. But yeah, I'm just hoping for the bare minimum and then access to the stuff. Like daycare for John.
Can I just ask, does everybody get some kind of payout if you get approved?
Yes.
Wow.
What you get, Carmen, is the amount that you would normally be eligible for at the age of retirement is given to you monthly from the time that you're approved for your disability. So however much you've paid in and however much you're entitled to for your Social Security check when you're 65 starts earlier. The other thing is you become eligible for Medicare, which is a government provided. It's not in full because you have to buy other insurance to pick up the gap, but you become eligible. But that usually happens. It's 42 months after you first applied. So there's usually it's 42 months. It used to be 42 months after you were first diagnosed. So in my case, when I applied, I was eligible immediately. For a lot of people, they may have to wait several months before they get their Medicare. In John's case, he should be eligible for Medicare. I think they make you wait 3 months or something, but it's fairly nominal.
And honestly, right now, Medicare is going to be our supplemental insurance because Melissa always has a good insurance through her job.
Okay. Well, in fact, what'll happen is it may not happen. What I was going to say is Medicare would be your primary and the supplemental would be through Melissa's job.
Sure. That also makes sense to me.
Right. So which works great. Guys, I'm going to run over to RMC, but before I go, I want to get something on the recording and for you, which is we sent out a survey on Friday morning to all of you who get a reminder. It says your voice matters. It went out Friday morning. If you get the reminders and you see the reminders, it will be there. Your voice matters. We need you to fill out the survey. Everybody who attends the meeting, either live or recording. We surveyed people back in 2021, but only prostate cancer peeps. This time we're surveying everybody, and it will take you 5 to 10 minutes to complete it. It's a multiple choice. Maybe with MS brain it might be different, but even our chemo brain people are saying 5 to 10 minutes, and our hormone. So don't shoot the messenger if it takes you more than 10 minutes, but it shouldn't be that long. And basically, we're trying to find out if you like our services, if you're happy, what you're not happy with, how we compare, etc., etc. And we will take this information and we will turn it into, first of all, it'll guide us in our programming. Secondly, we'll turn it into information we present at medical conferences. Hopefully, if we get enough MS replies at MS conferences too, we hope, to show people the value of these groups. So please take a few minutes, and anybody who's listening, we know that there's somewhere usually between 60 to 100 people that listen. Please, the survey will be in the YouTube. It's in the chat window right now. If you didn't see the link, I've just put the link in there. Look, Miss Michelle. And I just have to say, Miss Michelle, I am so happy to see you in person. It is such, thank you so much. We love, it is so great. It's like a special treat to actually see you. Thank you. Turn on your mic. Can't hear you. Oh no, you'll have to go to the settings and choose the right microphone. Go up to the settings and the
Rick,
cogwheel.
it's kind of funny that you're being so excited about her being on camera when you're not on camera right now.
Oh well, I don't put myself on camera when on your.
No. Oh, okay.
Oh, not when it's recording, but I'll put it on. I don't, because I'm not really. I shouldn't really be in this group, but I should.
I was gonna call butterscotch on you. Be like, oh, Rick, butterscotch. That's what it sounds like.
Well, Michelle, did you sort your mic? No. So what you go up to the settings cogwheel in the top right, press on that, and then under microphones, pick the microphone that you're using.
Fault.
Yes,
there.
gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Sure.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I didn't break out my real stuff. I didn't break out my Yeti and my snowball. I'm sorry about that.
Well, thank you for putting your camera on. We love you. You do exist.
Yeah. I'm gonna come out of the closet, if you will.
Yeah, lovely. All right, guys. I'll probably see you probably in about 20 minutes, half an hour. I'll be back. So.
Hey, Rick, I just wanted to
Rick.
say it's really great that you're doing this survey and getting information from everybody. So kudos to you. I mean,
Thank
to
you
you
so
and
much.
AnCan.
And yeah, we'll be pushing this right the way through November. I mean, we really want some of the groups other than prostate cancer to get behind it and to answer. So if you're speaking to any other of your AnCan MSs, remind them they need to fill out the survey. Thank you, Carmen. That means a lot that you appreciate what we're doing. Okay, see you
bye.
soon.
Bye.
All
Let
right,
me
thank
make
you.
sure that somebody's an organ. Oh, I got to make sure. Oh, Carmen should be an organizer too. So yeah, okay. So okay, goodbye.
So, John, that's really great. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you very much. I don't want to come here and feel like I was bragging at all, because it finally happened. Because I do hear so many people going through what I'm going through, and I don't want to be like, hey, I found the end of the light at the end of the tunnel. It's only going to take you 4.5 more years.
I'm just starting it, and I'm getting overwhelmed with it right now. And so it is nice to hear that there's a end to this.
If you contact Social Security, you can come into their closest office or whatever, and they will help you fill it out step by step, or even over the phone. Every time I've been on the phone with disability, they have been nothing but angels, because they hear everything all day long. So, you get more flies with honey than vinegar, and just be nice to them.
Yeah.
And just say, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're saying, and they'll clear it up for you. And I asked them some stupid questions. like just stupid. Like my tortoise could come up with a better question, you know. But yeah, Andrea, they want to help you, because if you're claiming a disability, then there's something wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a reason for it.
Right.
I feel like all of my friends said, "Well, yes, you have MS. You should just be getting it, right?" Oh, in a world, oh that world. But you know what? In that world, there'd be a cure for MS and regrowth of myelin, and it wouldn't matter anyways.
And you wouldn't have to repeat your ongoing disability forms yearly when
Yep.
you have a chronic progressive disease that's never going to fucking change. Excuse my language.
That was said on record today, except for the fucking part.
Okay, good.
Yeah, like those, like almost those exact words. Like I just wanted to be as eloquent as I could.
Mm-hmm.
And Melissa's like, "Wow, you did a good job. You get so many hugs right now." And
Awesome.
so advocate for yourself, but don't be worried, Andrea. I don't know if I can understate how helpful they've been. Just the phone number. Just the phone number.
I called them today. I was on hold for 30 minutes and they hung up on me.
Well, shit.
Mm. But sometimes
Sorry.
shit happens though. Like that person might have just accidentally hung up on you, like went to
Oh no,
transfer
there was
you or
never a person. There was
oh.
never a person. I heard the hold music and the hold, whatever they say multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And then the phone started ringing and I thought maybe somebody was going to hang up. And then they said, we're having really, really high call volumes. Try back later. And the phone went dead.
Mm.
Wow. I think whenever I go on, I'm asking for something different. It's to help with the forms I already filled out, or what do I need to change in my forms going forwards. So it was never from the beginning. We just
Right.
did
Like
we
you
did
have
it online.
somebody's number, John? Like you have a direct line or what?
I don't, because
Oh.
the individual offices all have the same number.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can get to a local branch, and then you talk to someone. For me, my person lives an hour and a half away from me. Like I will never see this person. I will never know this person. Um, but as far as the judge, I did my own inside research. I checked on like how approval they were, and I'd lived in that town for 15 years, so I wanted to make sure there's no like conflict of interest. Like, oh my god, do I know you socially? And so I asked some of my friends, like, is there any reason for me to know this person at all? And all the answers were said, nah. Like there would be no reason for you to recognize this person. So
your paths never crossed or anything like that. That's there. Your paths never crossed, right?
yeah.
And you knew what judge you were going to have?
Yep, on the paperwork it told me.
Yeah. What a
And
relief. Like what a big relief. Holy cow.
yeah, yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
anywho, that's my
I
experience.
know it's a relief. I know how good you must feel because I know how hard it is to get through all this paperwork.
Yeah. I just was just easier and more accessible for people to fill stuff out. Like, if I need to go in front of a doctor and he has to have me walk while he has 5 doctors and all these therapists around him and I don't walk, like, I'm not making that up. Like, it would just be so easy as, well, it's hard to, like, really display a mental disability. I don't know. Anyways, if you want to see me walk, give me, like, a long time.
A padded floor.
Yeah, yeah. So also in 2024, I've lost just over 100 pounds.
Wow.
I've lowered my BMI by 16%,
Good
Holy smokes.
job.
and my
Wow.
A1C, which is my diabetic number, is good for people without diabetes. Like it's a good number for people
Awesome.
that don't have diabetes.
Congratulations. Wow.
Mhm.
Thank you. I'm not gonna lie.
Wasn't it this year that your house was remodeled?
Yeah,
It's been a good year for you.
I'd say so.
How'd you lose so much weight?
The hard work of doing PT and OT, and
Mhm.
then to stabilize my A1C, which is my diabetes number.
Mhm.
There's a medicine called Ozempic,
Mhm.
which
Mm.
yeah. So that side effect really hit me hard. Like
Wow.
I went up a dose because I felt like, hey, let's try this. And since then, the day after I dose, I always throw up first thing in the morning. So we're going to reduce that back because I have a hard time just eating, which is what it's supposed to do. It's supposed
Yeah.
to make you, it's doing its job. So yeah.
Unfortunately, it hit me on the other end, and I just couldn't
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah.
3 days that I was like, yeah, I'm out. That's enough of that.
Oh, I had like a couple weeks of none of that constipation. Like I had to go to
Oh,
the hospital for it.
also not fun.
At least the nurse joked, I will get a stick of dynamite. I'll be back in a minute. As we all know, that's all I need. Oh, that nurse was so nice, though.
Thank God.
Nurses are the best.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Yes, we are.
Yes, yes, no, absolutely. The nurse did everything. The doctor came and was like, oh, hey, and then left.
Mhm.
Yep.
In medicine, talk to the nurse. In business, talk to the administrative assistants.
Mhm.
That's true.
And
Yep.
if you're applying for Social Security, talk to the admin nicely.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. But the best part was she started at the very beginning. She called Melissa Miss Smith. I was like, I'm sorry, it's Dr. Smith. And then she called her Dr. Smith for the rest of the thing.
Awesome.
Yeah. Melissa was like, oh, I'm melting. I'm melting just a little bit. Like
Oh,
you went to college for like 12 years. You have a
You
doctorate. You
deserve
are
that
a
You
title.
deserve
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
Okay.
I
what
mean,
does she
if
do, John?
she's a professor at a university.
Yeah,
She is in the English department
cool.
and she teaches like writing level classes like 100 or 200,
Mhm.
children's lit, um, not ancient lit because that would be boring,
Mhm.
like pop culture lit, some of the higher capstone classes, but a lot
Wow.
of it is teaching teachers how to teach,
Mhm.
which is becoming a very hard thing to do. I'll just say this outright. Kids got fucking lazy in COVID as far as like taking their education seriously. It's going to change so badly. Um,
Yeah.
Kids are just not willing to do the work if they even show up to class. You would think that in a 300 level college class, you wouldn't have to take attendance. Like I want to be there to learn the stuff because I don't want to be caught off guard in the future.
And aren't you paying to be there too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Paying a
oh,
lot.
oh, Andrea, I've heard that if you get disability, your student loans get to be wiped away.
Wow.
Oh.
It's
Wow.
time for me to get my doctorate.
Wow.
Wow.
Since aren't we all doctors here anyways? Like with all the shit we go through.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, you can't get it now because that would prove that you're not disabled. If you
Mm.
can learn,
Mm.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had a PhD, I could go into teaching, and that would not be bad. Teach from home. But I'm sure I'd be as lazy as my own students. So I digress. The floor is open to whoever else.
thank you, John. Carmen, did you want to talk?
No, I want to invite Michelle to speak. I feel like Michelle, you've turned your camera on and kind of opened the door a little bit, and
I
I
do
just
agree with Rick. It is really nice to see your face.
mhm.
I
Mhm.
normally, I normally don't do that. I have shutters on all of my laptops, shutters, and so and little. I normally just don't do that because it's. I figure I guess I feel like as a society goes, we're like we're obsessed with seeing people. So
Yeah.
I know it seems kind of weird. Everything is about seeing and watching. I mean, I got these little packets right here to cover up everything.
Yeah.
So nanos, because it's like we're voracious when it comes to just watching and looking. Like, what is that? And then it leads to, in my mind, okay, it leads to sometimes we know isms. If you get to see, like, okay, when I was still working, applying for jobs, everybody wants to see you. No, you see me when I come to the interview because my paperwork should speak for me. Right? My curriculum vitae should speak for me, right? That should matter, right? Why do you need to see me? So I kind of took kind of bad, reaction about people's obsession with seeing people. It's like, listen to me first, talk to me, let me show you what I got. But so I became that person. Well, I'm gonna keep my cameras off. You don't need to see me. So, but I'm
Well, we
getting older.
feel very honored then, Michelle.
I'm getting
Justin,
I'm
That's
getting
right.
older, so it's like, what's the point anymore? I'm getting older. It's like, you're gonna keep how long you keep doing that? So
dude, if I ever run into you anywhere, because you're gonna recognize me, I want to recognize you. It might be somewhere like, hey, aren't you over like Albuquerque, New Mexico? So thank you again.
no
I know
problem.
that voice.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you know it more eventually one day. That's my next objective because that's one of the things that the VA said when I was trying to get my benefits with them. Oh, she's going to do voiceover and she's writing a book. I'm like, what in the hell has that got to do with the price of tea in China? And but I had a lawyer for that, But I'm like,
Yeah.
really? That was their rebuttal. So because I'm trying to work for myself, but in the interim, I said until that pays off, I have to go through this with you because I have a book that I've been sitting on for 30 years that needs to be done. I might need your assistance, Mr. John, and your wife, because trust me, if you saw it, I said it to you.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I've been trying to get. I'm thinking. I have a group that I'm in, and I have to meet with them on Thursday. What have I done? Any progress? But you know what? I was told by my doctor this gets affected.
Yeah.
So it was like, why my focus? And even though I was writing something tonight, I was doing something tonight. But is it intentional or is it just to meet the mandate? So I'm trying to drag myself back into it because it's very topical. It's very topical. And but and it could change everything. But it's like, yeah, that was one of the things that they use for their initial rebuttal for me. Oh, she's trying to work for herself, so we're not going to give her her benefits. Okay, thank you.
Even
So
SSDI, you're allowed to make up to a certain amount of money, and above that, and you risk losing your benefits.
Well, see, that's why I don't want to even claim that until I'm at the right age that you have to give it to me because it's mine. If I can
Right.
make do with my VA benefits until that time, because I had a friend of mine tell me, "Oh, go get your SSI." No, they're clawing back stuff now for stuff that they're giving people that they're saying, "Oh, we gave you too much and we gave it to you too soon," and they want to come back and get money that they took from me involuntarily. I mean, are you nuts? So no, I'm not gonna file for it now. I'm gonna wait till I'm the right age when you give me my money back that you took from me, that you entitled yourself to. So that's when I file. Then there won't be anything to talk about. So just. But
I have
yeah,
a
I mean,
question. If you get that SSDI payment and you're on, like, say you have a long-term disability insurance plan that's paying you, do they take that away from that amount? Because that's what they do here. Like, I have a disability plan through my nursing, like from my work. But once I got approved for my government disability, it's called Canadian Pension Plan Disability, so CPPD. But that amount gets now taken off of my payment that I get from my insurance company.
are you
Believe
serious?
that? Yeah.
I thought y'all would. No,
Isn't that
I thought that was
bullshit?
something we would. I thought that was something we would do.
No, that's what happens.
Oh no, Canada. Oh no, Canada. Please don't.
Yeah.
Don't tell
Yeah,
me.
everything isn't just great up here. I mean, things are pretty
Oh
good, but
Your
God.
your money smells like maple syrup.
some might.
Hockey is a national sport up there.
Yeah.
Even though the Detroit
Anyway.
Red Wings are the
It's
best.
the Holy Grail. It's the Holy Grail up there. I remember the Oilers and Gretzky back in the day when they were king. I remember. I came to Windsor when I was a kid. Like I told you before, I wish I had found a way to stay there or something. Met a nice Canadian man.
Remind me where you live, Michelle?
Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've mentioned the VA a couple times. Do you mind me asking what you did or what kind of service that you were in? Is that an impolite question? I don't know.
No, it's fine. I was in the Air Force, and I was military police or security forces at the time.
Wow.
Thank you for your service.
Yes,
You're welcome.
absolutely.
And don't fuck with her.
That's right.
Because
I
she's
left.
big about. Go
My
ahead. I
dad
was
was
saying,
in the Air Force, Michelle.
Really?
my
Mhm.
father-in-law was too in Vietnam.
Well,
I had
November
no
11th up here
family.
is a pretty big deal. Like
Yeah.
it's Remembrance Day, and
Yeah.
not every province has a stat, but we do here in British Columbia.
Mhm.
But there are big services, and service personnel are really acknowledged. So it's suitable that we're talking about this. So thank you for your service,
True.
Yeah,
definitely.
I forgot. Yeah, after yesterday, leading up, I almost forgot it was Monday, and then I was like, oh, I forgot V Day. So
Yeah.
they like to feed us, so we get like free meals if we want. Different restaurants just open up their doors and like, oh, okay. So I got salad tonight, so got leftovers what I have. But I went out and I bought some stuff. But yeah, I mean, I left early because of MST. So we'll say it like this: I don't know how many of you keep up with the current events, but I was Vanessa Guillen before Vanessa Guillen was Vanessa Guillen. Put it that way. That's
I
how.
don't know who that is.
I
I'm
don't know
sure
who that
that Miss
is.
Andrea is shaking her head. So she was a young woman in the army that was murdered on her post
Oh,
because she was being sexually harassed, and she
Oh
was
yeah.
murdered.
Yes.
So MST is a real thing. I'll give you a better one. Maybe people will recognize this. Martha McSally, GOP senator from Arizona at the time, testified about how she was assaulted in the Air Force. So it is a thing. It's a thing. They have a movie, if you can dig it out, called Invisible War. So it's not just a one-off, and it wasn't something that people made up. So it chronicled a whole lot of people's experiences, and there it is.
I'm sorry.
mhm.
Oh, it is what it is. I mean, I have a sexist brother and a mother who kind of encourages that behavior. She feels that if you go in the military, you should expect to be raped. That's the mother, and
Oh my gosh.
the son is like, well, women, he's got this thing. So I said, well, that's where you get that from then. So you shouldn't go in men's spaces, in other words. So I said, okay,
Hmm.
yeah. So
Bye, John.
Hi, John.
oh, she left. John was leaving. I'm sorry. He was waving, I guess.
Hmm.
He was waving. Yeah, he put a note in the chat that he was going to quietly roll out, and then we
I
started.
see it. I
Hi.
see it. Okay, I see it. Okay, I see it now. Oh my gosh. So, but that's that. So I'm just trying.
I have another question for you. You're going to feel like you're on the hot seat today, but it's just based on what you said in your
Okay.
intro.
Okay.
Will missing your dose today, will that have a big impact? Like how sensitive are you to the medication that you're on?
I want to hope that it won't. I haven't had that feeling like some kind of reaction because it's happened before, and I think for me to remedy this in the future, I'm gonna wait till I don't get to the end of it. I'm actually calling this the prescription before it runs out. That way I can go because I mean I called it in and last week and I went to pick it up, but they kind of like buyer's remorse. Why don't you say that you don't have it? Why would you let me fill it? And I had somebody call it in for me because they have they're kind of weird here at the VA. They like, and I understand maybe in thinking about it why they like to do it, like to send it to you in the mail, but I'm a homeless but house vet. I stay with somebody. So I'm like, well, don't put this address on record. And I don't want you to get comfortable and just send stuff here. And then when I'm not here anymore, I move, then you got stuff coming here. So I opt to go pick it up. But they sometimes, they're not very, open with the communications. So I'm calling it in. I had a person that calls in after hours for me, so I don't have to deal with the Atlanta VA. I call after hours to get somebody in California, and they're very more civilized. And they said, you have no problem. You can go pick it up. And then I go pick it up and you don't have it. So make that make sense. But I mean, I went 17 years without taking medication, which I insisted about not doing. So I'm sorry to answer your question. I think I'll be okay, as long as I can get it, before the week
Hopefully
gets
soon.
out or something like that. I don't want to go a week or 2 weeks since I've been on it. So, but I went.
Is this the 3 dose per week that you're on? Yeah.
Yes, the Gatiramir. Yep, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
An
So
injection?
yes, yeah, because I talked to you guys about my auto injector that stopped working. They just won't. I can't get them to give me another one, so I have to kind of do it by hand. It's like, so my cousin, who's a first responder, when she's here, she's able to do her magic because she has magic hands and she can give shots like all day. I don't feel nothing. I don't even have to ice it down because normally when I give it to myself, I have to put an ice pack on it first before I give the injection. But she got me a whole pack of alcohol swabs, and so I can just swab it. But she takes care of that, and bam, I don't feel nothing. I hate needles.
Where do you give it to yourself, Michelle?
I have to change areas because there's a word I can't pronounce it, but it begins with an L. The little nodules that you get in your body, almost like so. If you can't do it in the same place, obviously you have to change. So I just go from either my legs, my thighs, or my stomach. I have a little roll. So that's kind of why it came back. I realized that MS doesn't like weight, so that's probably part of it. So I use my donut rolls to my advantage. So I give it to my stomach, my thighs, and when she's home, she'll give it to me in one of the butt cheeks. That's what she does. Her specialty
You
in the
don't have
hospital.
to do the arm. You don't have to do the arm.
Yeah, I've never done the arm. I've never. That's funny you admit. I've never done the arm, even upper arm. I've never done it.
When
think it
I
hurts
was
more in the
first
arm.
diagnosed, I was on Copaxone that I had to give myself a shot every single day.
Wow.
And it was awful. It was an hour and a half process because I hate needles.
Mm-hmm.
And the nurses always told me, you should do it yourself. Don't use the auto injector. It's so much easier to do it yourself. And I'm like, oh, hell no, because I'll pass
Wow.
out just trying to get that needle anywhere near my skin.
Right.
Like it's bad enough doing it with the auto injector.
Mm-hmm. But
So
at least it's
yeah,
quick, right? Isn't it? It's quick with the auto injector. Me, you put it, if you get it in there, you get it in there, you put it, boom, it's done, right? It's quicker. I mean, you barely. I mean, guess that's the
quicker,
objective.
but it like hits in as opposed to I don't
Yeah.
as opposed to kind of
Oh,
going smoother. So
okay.
like when your cousin does it for you,
Huh.
but I can't do that to myself. No way, no how.
Right.
It ain't
Right.
happening.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I guess you guys don't want
So
to hear
I
about
feel
me
your
starting
pain.
an IV on my hand myself then, hey?
Stop.
What?
Stop.
Oh, you're a
Stop.
nurse. Yeah, no.
I
Yeah.
had that. I had
You
that this
nurses, you're
weekend.
special people. Mm-mm.
I had that this weekend. I had to get an MRI. I mean, this was a follow
Oh,
up hospital stay. So I went for my MRI on Sunday, and they had to put the what do you call
contrast.
it? Contrast, right? So I had that. They poked my hand, and they had this stuff going in it. So I didn't even pay attention to it because once I got in the machine, I just went to sleep. So, but yeah, yeah, I had to have one of those this weekend in my hand. The guy couldn't find a vein and everything. He kept looking. I said, "They roll, okay? I have rolling veins. Don't keep sticking me, okay? I'm telling you that right now." So, but yeah.
Well, hopefully your medication shows up quickly. Is there any way of knowing if it's there? Like, will someone call you or you just have to keep checking?
No, this is now this is crazy. And I found this to be amusing. The woman, when I was there at the pharmacy, wrote down this number. Okay, wrote down this number. But this number goes to the national no, it's not even to their office. I'm saying, what's the purpose of you giving me a number to call you to come pick it up to see if it's here, and you give it to me to the national number? Make that make sense. It has the 404 number, but I think it rolls over. They don't. In other words, they don't answer because I called even as I was leaving, because I asked them, in my mind, they told me I could come pick it up on Monday. I said, well, listen, I'm not coming anywhere. I said, let me understand this. You don't have it today, Friday. So it's the holiday weekend. So you tell me you have mail service that's going to get it to you on Monday for me to pick it up. Because I'm driving 40 miles from Woodstock to Claremont Road in Decatur, Georgia, not doing it on a whim and a hunch. So unless I can talk to somebody who tells me you have it in stock on site, I'm not coming. Like today, I'm not coming. Yesterday, I'm not coming. So I was gonna wait until, I hate to say it, wait till the whole week. I want to make sure it's there. I want to make sure it's there. It may make me wait until Wednesday. Well, tomorrow is Wednesday, so there we go. But I can't even call them direct. So how do I really know? This is a game that we play. But I know this is my fault. I know the next time I'm just not gonna wait till it gets to the end, or I'm gonna wait till it gets near it, but I'm gonna call it in before. If I have to stack them
Yep.
two at a time and have them in the refrigerator, I'll do that because I don't want to deal with this again. So
They'll make you
If
wait
they'll allow
till a
you to
certain
have.
date, usually.
huh?
Sorry, Carmen.
Oh, I just was going to say, I think same thing as you, like if they'll allow you to have a double dose.
Right.
Exactly right, and that's the thing. And I don't know, especially with the VA and what we're going through right now. I just saw in the news that they're not anticipating any major changes with our new thing, our situation, but they talked about certain things maybe happening with the VA. I said, leave us alone, leave us alone.
No
Okay,
kidding.
you know what I'm talking about, Miss Andrea. Leave us alone.
Oh, believe me, I know.
So
They
yeah,
aren't
that's.
leaving anybody alone.
I don't want to get into that because my brother is a acolyte of Orange.
Oh,
So we
God.
just kind of like, I saw an article today about a man trying to decide where they're gonna have family dinner because they have one side of the family on one side, another family, other members on another side. I said it's gonna be interesting holiday, but we just kind of like table a situation. Like I haven't talked to him since last week because I didn't want him laughing and saying, "See, I don't want to hear that." So oh, don't want to hear that. So we have he wished me a happy Veterans Day, and I said thank you, sir, goodbye, and that's it. But yeah, we just gonna leave that alone. So for 4
Yeah.
years, I'm gonna leave that alone. I want to hear. I don't talk. We talk about family business. We talk about our land. That's it. You just you keep yourself to yourself, and I'll keep myself to myself. So
And
but yeah,
hopefully that is the way things go for you guys in your own situations, and it doesn't impact you, like keep your head down and nose clean, and hopefully, I don't
finish
know.
my book. Really get into writing my book. I need to try to focus as much as I can on that. Yeah. I mean, his brief aside, he was very acknowledging that he had a problem with the families who were allowing it to mess their family dynamics up. So he wanted me to know we're not gonna do that, sis. We're not. I said because I've called him. I said, you act like you're a member of the branch 2.0 version of the Branch Davidians. Is that what this is? David Koresh. You see how that worked out for them, did you? So I said let's not. Then he got offended when I called. No, he got offended when I told him he was with those people in Charlottesville where Heather Heyer got killed. I said, was those your people out there? That's how you sound. He made an anti-Semitic comment to me, and I almost blasted. I said, no, sir, don't you dare, don't you dare. I said, what is wrong with you? So yes, it's so. I feel like if I were to go for family, gatherings, like we're not gonna. Other family members don't know that he feels this way. But I think we have a rich. I think we have a rich family member that has influenced him. I know that for a fact because this family member, this rich one, he is a developer, by the way, in New York. Yes, has property all over the United States, continental United States. He's taking me some. So, but this relative that influences my brother, he looks up to him. He used to tell us, brag to the family about how he used to ride around with Giuliani. I said, you should keep that to yourself. And in fact, one of our other family members told him, you need to keep that to yourself. I used to ride around with him. We used to ride around. I said, excuse me? What? Just don't know. But he rich. He rich. He sent me a recent sale of his house because he was living in some development up in upstate New York and they want him to leave. He showed me the damn price, the placard on there what he was selling his house for $1.4 million. So he wanted me to know who he is. I said, I know you, cuz I got you. Okay. But he's a good egg. He was concerned about me when I was in the hospital. He said, you should have called me. I didn't know you were in the hospital. He got very upset with me. So we have a good relationship. We just don't talk about certain things. We don't talk about that. I don't want to talk about that with you. So that's what that is.
Giuliani,
Yeah,
was it
so
Giuliano or Rudo?
Yes,
Rudy?
you were right the first time.
Giuliani?
Rudy
Is that right?
Giuliani.
Yes, you were right.
Giuliani, yeah. He wasn't always cuckoo
No,
and
he
cuckoo
was
for
not.
cuckoo.
When we
Like
lived up there. Yeah.
I was a nanny when he was the mayor in New York, and like
Right.
lots of people loved him,
He was
right?
normal, but he was normal. I liked
Yeah.
him. He was normal. After
Hmm.
David Dinkins and those guys, and Ed Koch, he was normal. But this
Hmm.
whole thing, like I said, this is like some kind of Branch Davidian kind of thing going on. Jim Jones nonsense. I mean, what is wrong with you?
What's wrong with all of them?
God.
Yeah,
So yeah. So yeah, I mean, so yeah, he probably was referring to that time when he was normal. You're right.
maybe.
Yeah. So, but that's where it's at for me. So when
Well,
I get
I
through
sure hope your
this,
medication gets in soon. That's a real drag.
yeah, I hope so too. I'll go get it. I mean, it's happened before when I, let it get to this point and I was out of it for 2 and 3 days. So I can still walk, fortunately, thank God. I mean, the only thing I'm worried about now, trying to deal with, is my Sabo. The Sabo came apart, and I knew that was going to happen. It's like, why did this thing, little slot that sticks in there, it came off. The funny thing is, that's the one the VA sent to me, so it's okay. I was going to buy another one out of pocket, but I said, if after that, so I'm not going to buy this if it's going to do this. It's supposed to be durable, I assume, but the little thing came out, the little slide came out, the part of it just came apart. I'm like, and how do you just can't put it back in? So that's for my drop foot situation. So I'm like, you know what? But I already know the quality of anything that's made on this earth right now is trash. They're all trash.
I was
Everything.
gonna say it's been a more than a decade since I used those things. It was a cheap plastic piece of that
Trash.
they
Trash.
overcharge because they call it medical equipment. So it's
Mm-hmm.
probably $50, $60 to buy it. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I'm making those
This is the
numbers
auto
up.
injector?
Totally.
No, this is
Yeah.
Sabo, the drop foot, the band that goes on your wrist. I mean, on your leg, on your ankle. The Sabo.
Oh, I thought you were talking
Oh,
about your auto injector.
Oh yeah, that crap, that ship said. I mean, I don't even have any kind of inroads into that. So you can't go to a store and like buy one. You can't go to a medical store and buy one. They act like you speak in Chinese or Mandarin or something. Auto injector. No, we don't sell those. What?
You might be able to call the manufacturer of the drug
Hmm. Oh,
hmm.
them and tell them your auto injector broke and you're having a lot of
Good
trouble
idea.
and I bet you they'll send you another one.
I think if I remember correctly, and I do went through that before, and I did because they sent me a little box. It came with a box, so I called those people. They stopped manufacturing it. Is what happened.
Mm.
I called them, and the company said they stopped manufacturing them. Like they basically, like I guess, outsourced it. So then I called, and then the one that they had sent had stopped working, but it wasn't the one that was designed for it. I said, well, why in the hell would you send this? Because it got stuck. So I'm like, and I took it to the nurse at my neurologist's office and showed it to her. She said, yeah, it's not working. I said, so I didn't do nothing to this, okay? How is sticking a syringe inside this cause it to mess up? It's a simple process. Stick syringe inside. Okay, I know how to do that. So I
No,
called the one
so
that.
I mean, it's the pharmaceutical company that's, manufacturing
Or
Trash.
the
supplying.
the the injections. So
Mhm.
they should be the ones giving you the auto injector.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the
I'll
best I
try
got.
again.
That would be
I'll
my
try again.
recommendation.
They did the first time. I'm saying it stopped. It malfunctioned. So they probably got a warehouse full of malfunctioning ones. They know these things don't work. They just keep
Right.
send them out. How hard is it to put a syringe inside of a little? It's not brain surgery. So
It's
you can't
not.
say
You're
I
right.
can't. can't say I messed it up. It didn't work. So I went to the one that was actually designed for it. They claimed the Whisper Jet, and then
Mm-hmm.
it worked perfectly for a while. For a while, it worked perfectly. I followed the directions. I kept it in the fridge. I did everything they said to do. And then eventually, at some point in time, it decided to get stuck to, and it stopped reset. It stopped resetting. There's even threads online about it. So when I know that it's not me, I go online, because if you go online and check a thread about something that you're looking for and you see a thread, it means it was a problem for other people. So it's not me. It's a problem. So I found a thread. I said, see, it's a piece of trash. Why is there any auto injector that exists that can actually handle this thing without fail? I mean,
Did anyone talk about that in the thread or no?
it is so long. They may have mentioned it. I think they mentioned some alternatives, but I think I went to certain ones, but I wasn't qualified or some kind of credit. It was just because how you delve into something at that time when it's a problem. Then at some point you just put it down and say forget about it.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And because I said this was just too much for something that they were supposed to provide. They did, and then things stopped working. And I've always went and got evidence, because I take pictures of everything. I'm a picture nut because I'm an evidence nut. Because I don't want to hear anybody saying, well, I didn't know. Here it is right here. So look at it. Okay. What else am I supposed to do? I went to a little video. I watched the video. Your thing is you have faulty product. That's all. Just accept that and own that. Just own it. So
not my fault. Not my fault. Not my fault.
This is where we live in. I was even gonna buy one, but I said if I buy one and it does the same thing, I'm gonna be wanting to come for you. So I didn't want to risk that. I just want somebody to tell me why this is not working. So yeah, I may have to go back to the manufacturer, but like I said, the manufacturer told me a long time ago that they stopped making the auto injector for it. So that's why I had to go out.
But they might
Keep
have a support like
complaining.
1-800 like
Huh?
squeaky wheel. Is that what you said, Andrea?
Yeah, just keep asking for
Yeah.
another one. Keep calling
Yeah.
them.
I'm
Be the
ringing them.
squeaky wheel.
Anyway, you guys, I gotta get going here.
Oh, okay. All right, ma'am. It was good talking to you, man.
Yeah, well, it was great seeing you, and it's been really nice having a chat with all of you, with all three of you, all two of you. John, I guess, was the third.
John was here for a little while.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Okay.
Michelle,
So,
do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I mean that was it. That the Sabo thing was the ankle thing for the drop foot. That was a problem, but you know what? That it is. I don't know how long ago you used that, if you ever used it, but so that was the last thing. That's all.
Can
frustrating.
you buy another foot drop?
I can, but I don't want. I'm gonna tell you,
Later?
like with the injector, I don't want it to do the same thing. I'm not into wasting money. If it's doing what it's doing now, which is done, I have to take it to somebody and let them look at it if I can find somebody in the area. But I'm not gonna waste money and buy one and it does the same thing, because I'm gonna be very pissed off.
How did you get it in the first place? Did you buy it?
That came from the VA. The VA sent it to me. They sent
Oh,
it to me.
okay.
Right.
So
So I
I'd
was
go
gonna buy
back to them.
and tell
Yeah.
them, hey, it's a problem with this thing, and I didn't do anything to it. I just turned it like it's supposed to be turned, and this is what happened. It came out.
Right.
It came
Yep.
unfixed from the band. So that's not
Yep.
on me. It shouldn't do that. It should be durable. They know people are gonna use it. They know people are gonna tighten it. That's what it's designed to do.
Well,
So
How
so
long have you
just
had
give
it?
me another one that works.
I've had
Yeah.
it
Thanks,
about
Carmen.
6 months or so, a year.
That's it? Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
should last longer than that. Hello.
You
Yeah.
would think. You would think.
Do you not
But
get good support through the VA? Like, are they reluctant to replace things or to fill
no, I
things?
mean it's like everything. It's a process, and
Yeah.
like I said, I haven't been able to ever get the damn auto injector replaced. So what do I think about getting this replaced? If I tell her I would take it. I have an appointment with my doctor actually this month. No, December is coming up, and my neurologist. So I'm gonna let him know. Hey, and he's a nice guy. He's like he's stuck in the middle. He can't navigate the bureaucracy of the VA.
Can't he write a prescription or something so that you can say, look, my doctor says I need this. Like, you have to
Yep.
replace this because this is broken.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure he'll probably do it if I call and let him know and say, hey, this is what's going on. I don't know what the hell's happening, but y'all need to do something about this, because he's the one that recommended it for me. So
Yeah.
like
Right.
for the foot drop, he said, "Oh, you need
Yeah.
this." Okay, well if I need this, hey, and I didn't do nothing to it but turn it. So, but
So they
anyway,
should replace it. That's all.
yeah, I
It's
took
just
pictures of it.
maddening when quality issues are like, I mean, shit is just, not, ugh.
I accept the fact everything is garbage. I accept everything is garbage on this earth. I don't expect anything from anyone. I really don't. I
Well,
just
on
don't.
that note, hi, Rick.
Hey, Mr. Rick. In fact, I'm gonna tell you what. As a remedy for my angst at times, I went back to my old song. I pulled it out the archives, even for what's going on in our little part of the world. I pulled out my old song, two of them. Phil Collins, I don't care anymore. Love it. I don't care anymore. And then the damn police. When the world is running down, you make the best of what's still around. And I've been playing it on my damn car every day.
What's the last one?
The second one is when the world is running down, I'll make the best of what's still around. You make the best of what's still around. By the police. Gordon
Okay.
Sumner, Andy Copeland.
Okay.
When you said police, I thought you were going to say, "Don't stand so close to me."
Oh, that's another one, but that's not fitting my needs at this point right now. But I have the album. I have the CD. I actually have the CD. Remember that one? It's like
That's a
a
good one.
yellow and red picture photo with them on the cover. So yeah, I love
Yep.
them. I love Gordon Sumner. I knew, man. So dude, you the dude. So yeah. So
You crank it and just sing on, girl.
yeah, I do it.
That's
But
right.
especially I don't care anymore. That's the one I've been playing. It's on loop in the car.
Uh-huh.
I just
Yep.
don't care. I just don't care.
It's a good one.
Yeah, very appropriate, I think, for the times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah,
just
there's
see
going to be a lot of
how they
times you're going to
go.
have to let things just slide off your shoulders and not let it get to you, boy.
But you don't want to get to that point either, because I don't want to be that person that says, you know what, this man, this perfect situation, analogy, and I know you guys are giving it a go. This guy, and I don't want to be that person that says, no, I'm not going to do that. And I know people say, why would you do that? This guy was walking. He was delivering in a neighborhood, and we're going back to this point in time in our society in America. He was African American, but he saw this woman had passed out on her property, older white lady. Today, that might get you killed. Why would I go and help you? But he wouldn't help her. It turns out she had a stroke. He wouldn't help her, and it was a shock, because you got this guy, you in this neighborhood. You gonna no, I'm not gonna stop. His not stopping would she would have died, but he did, and she was so thankful. She After that was over, she was like thanking him, and because she was having a stroke, and he got her help. But I'm saying we get into a time where maybe you're gonna have people say, you know what, I'm not gonna. You see something, say something. No, I'm not gonna see nothing, and I saw nothing. That's what they're pushing us to. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what you're talking. I don't know nothing, and I don't care anymore. We don't want. If we want that society, then go for it. But I don't think we. I don't think we want that society.
No.
At least I don't want it within, my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to keep politics out of things, and
Mm-hmm.
I try to look at the people that I do love, and no matter what the government does, just know that I've got people around me that love me and that I love,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to hold on to that because, you know, half of the country isn't horrible people.
Yep.
They just have different ideas, and we're just stuck in a weird spot right now.
That's a good way to look at it. You give me encouragement, because I was at that point like, no, 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 no. They are horrible people, so I shouldn't feel that way. They're not bad. They just have a different point of view. It's a point of view from where you are.
Well,
That's
and they've also
HSBC.
been fed different information. That's the other thing, you know? Like if
Right.
Yeah.
They've been
you're on
lied
a
to
steady
by the people
diet
that
of
are
that
horrible people.
bullshit.
Hmm. Yeah.
What, Andrea?
I said, yeah, they've just been lied to by the ones that are horrible people.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that for sure either. That
Yeah.
wasn't nice. That was a rude joke.
Oh well.
But you
But
can't.
And
no, it's just
You can't. You
just
can't.
know and love the people around you. And I have not turned on the news since Tuesday,
Me
election
neither.
day.
That maybe is the problem. I need to. Maybe I should do that. Just turn it off. I don't care anymore. Let that extend to everything. What I take in my system. Yes.
Hmm.
Well, because during the election, it was if they win, the country's going to fall. If they win, the country's going to fall. And now it's when is the country going to fall and how are they going to do it and what are they going to do? They don't know what's going to happen. They're talking about what could possibly happen, what may never happen. And all they do is they work you up in
Stir the
these
pot.
nothing
Yeah,
but
the spin.
ideas. They're nothing but ideas. It's
Mhm.
not happening right now, at least. Nothing is happening. So don't let yourself get so worked up. And I'm saying this to myself as much as to you, Michelle.
Hmm.
But
Well,
this is what I've been repeating to myself all
yourself.
week.
Well, in order to at that time, in order for me to kind of do my part, because I've done this before in the past in my life. Many years ago, I made a voting voting spot that was for teenagers, very well received. Actually, legal women voters used it. My spot, me and my partner, he just reconnected me recently. He called me up and said, "Hey, what's going on?" So, but I did a spot for last week, and I did a spot that basically called it to the point of the fact that we are the quote unquote progressive, 21st, this is the 21st century, and we have never had a female leader. But we've had a Muslim country have a female leader. We've had all these other, we haven't had third world countries that have female leaders. I think this kind of qualifies as American sexist officially. So I did a spot, and I did a spot, and it's great. Everybody's like, wow, yeah. And I showed you the people, and I said, I just said, hey, and you call yourself the leader of the free world? Really? So let me
yeah,
show you something, leader. So that's what I did. I did a spot and I posted it on TikTok. But it talks about the fact that hey, we're the great imposters because we have never lived up to
yeah.
and
I mean,
we have failed to live up to anything that we've said we are. We're not.
well, Michelle, you're right, and I will say this: I happen to like Harris. I've always liked her. I voted for her when I lived back in San Francisco. I really like her, but the first thing that came to my mind in June when Biden stepped down is she's just not electable. This country will not elect a woman of color. They just won't,
I
and
know.
not yet. And
You're right.
she ran a fantastic campaign. She did everything right. The country just wasn't ready for her, and
So
and
not
it
only are we racist, we're feminist as well. It's
yes,
true.
Yeah, sexist. But you know what? What I've told
That's
people, listen,
sexist, yeah.
this is a fact. Very few elections have been about who people wanted definitively. The elections are always about who you don't want. We people vote against what they don't want, and that's always been our elections. Really, I don't want this person. You have this. You have this galvanizer damnation. People come out to vote against who they don't want, and that's what happened. They voted against who they didn't want.
you know,
And with
I
the
don't think that
electoral
was so
college,
true. I don't think that was so true with Obama. I think
Oh,
people
with
vote.
exception, right? Exception.
I
Oh, yeah.
think they wanted Obama,
Mhm.
but I think what you just said is absolutely true about this election, the last election.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And the election before it, and the election
Mhm.
before that when Trump was elected the first time. But
Exactly.
again,
They saw Clinton coming and they said, "Oh hell no!" They saw Clinton coming. They saw the heir apparent from Obama to the next one. The Clinton was coming. They said, "Hell no!" That's what that was about. Hell no. So yeah,
well, and keep in mind too that with the electoral college, we are really a country run by minorities,
yeah,
not a country run by the majority.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Of the
yeah.
people, for
Except
the
that
people, right?
unfortunately, the majority vote bought him, but returned this next president. I can't say the name.
This time, the last time he won,
Right.
it didn't.
Last time, not. No, I know. But anyway,
Mm.
I'm just,
People just
I'm just,
wanted a change. That's all.
I'm
Yeah.
You know.
comforted by the fact that there's a lot of like-minded people, and hopefully, we can find enough like-minded people on the other side to prevent crazy
Too
stuff.
much damage.
Yeah, that's the
Well, I
best.
have high hopes for the midterm election, and turning over at minimum the Senate uh and the Congress, or the House and the Senate. And I think that people are going to be 2 years after Republican Senate, Republican House, Republican President. At least my fingers are crossed they'll be sorry. We'll see.
Did they call the house yet? They haven't called the house yet, have they? I
They
didn't hear
lost.
that. Was
I
that
They
just
lost.
am
today?
assuming.
They lost
I'm just
everything. They
assuming.
lost it across the board. They lost it across the board.
They lost the house today? I haven't seen that in the news.
Yeah, yeah. They got them both. They got the Senate and the House.
Oh, yeah.
Oy, oy, oy.
Yeah. So
It's a sad day.
just hold on to your hold on. Just hang on.
I'll happily stay in my northern climate with my extra scarves. Although it was very lovely today. It was like 10 or 11 degrees, which is, I know that sounds cold to you guys, but that was, I don't know what that would convert to, 50?
And she's talking Celsius. If you said 10 or 11
No, I
Fahrenheit,
know,
that
I
would
know.
be really cold.
That's why I said that doesn't sound very good to you guys, but
But
let me
that's why I
just
couldn't
change
come up
it.
there, Miss Carmen. That's why I could never make the transition because I said I don't like the cold. But I don't know. Since we turned it into the Handmaid's Tale, I may need to reconsider that. And actually,
Yep.
they say snow. Until I met you, they said cold was better for MS because it doesn't
Hmm.
like heat, allegedly. But it depends on which one you have. So I lived in New York most of my young life. I didn't have the MS. It hadn't revealed
I
itself
don't
yet.
think Canada would take us. We're going to have to go south.
Oh gosh. Well, that's
52 was our high today.
52. I
There
love
you
it.
go. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it. That's perfect. Well,
Anyway,
other places want us to come. They're asking for, refugees from America. I know they have. I read a story recently. This is before this happened. This young African American quit her job and she packed it up. She has online, business that she runs. She moved to Spain. She said they want expats, and so a lot of places. I've been to Portugal. I've been to the Azores. I've been to this. I talked to this guy online who said he was moving to Panama before this happened. He had found a little place because I've been to Panama. I said yes, and my cousin's wife is from Panama, so there are options. I mean, but people like I'm not letting nobody run me from my country. Okay, well that's you. That's you. But they said there's been a steady migration. Canada actually posted a numbers of people who have been coming there. Actually, to Vancouver, British Columbia, they have had a lot of people running to the border, like The Handmaid's Tale, fictionalized. Um,
hmm
so I'm sure you guys probably Mr. Trudeau, probably he's probably gonna put a limit on things up at some point. I'm sure. If you don't want all of us coming.
I don't know. Canada's pretty welcoming.
I know, y'all are wonderful. Like I said, I used to walk around when I was a kid with a damn maple leaf lapel pin in my ear like a dummy. It was so stupid. Oh, I love Canada. I went to Windsor. I was like, oh, this is wonderful.
Sorry, what was that? Why was it in your ear? You had a
Because
pin as an ear?
yeah, because I was such a dummy. It was a lapel pin, was for your clothes, dummy. But I was a young kid. I put it in my ear.
Oh,
It had the maple leaf. It was a red and white lapel pin with the Canadian maple leaf.
yeah, yeah.
I was a true believer. Canada,
All
yes.
right.
Oh my Canada.
Excellent.
And had I known what I know now, let me find me a Canadian husband, please. I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah.
Listen, when I worked at CNN, they actually had one of you guys, some guy that worked for the CBC was working in our newsroom. He was from a Canadian broadcast. He was here on a period for a period of time, but he basically came and did an exchange. So he was working in the CNN newsroom with us, but he was from Canada. He worked for the
Hmm.
CBC. He said he was allowed to come for a certain period of time. Then he had to go back. I should have married. Yeah. So
You were
yeah.
working at CNN, is that what you said?
What in another life, that was my life. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
20, 30 years ago. Yeah, I was when it was still such a thing. And my last professional job, real job, was at the Weather Channel, and then everything kind of went up in smoke.
Hmm.
Well, capitalism is what happened, buying and selling, buying and selling. So
Yeah. Anyway, I am gonna go, you guys. I will see you in a couple
Yes,
weeks.
I want to go too because it's getting late and I'm hungry.
Yeah.
yes, and
Same.
yeah, Mr. Rick, I'm hungry too. I'm sorry. It's good to talk to you, Miss Carmen.
Yes. Bye.
Bye
Good
bye.
night, everybody.
Good
All right.
night.
Good
All right,
Good
night.
we'll
night.
stop the recording.